tonight on Cox Forum.
Almost all of us will need to give, arrange, or even receive senior care at some point in our lives. But how do you know when you need it? And when you answer that question, what are your options? How do you navigate all of those different possibilities? Well, we're going to give you some answers, and we'll also give you some resources of where you can turn for answers, all coming up tonight on Cox Forum. This is indeed a topic that will touch us all at some point or another. And we've got three parts to tonight's show. We're going to start off by taking a look at an organization called SeniorCareHomes.com. We have the co-founders with us tonight. We have Erwin and Kate Allotto. Welcome to the show. Erwin is also the CEO, and Kate is the COO of the organization. And we'll start with Erwin with a question I just asked. How do you know it's time for a loved one to have some sort of senior care?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great question. And usually the things you look for in your loved one or your parents, mobility issues. Are they having a hard time getting out of bed, in and out of bed? Are they stable when they're walking? Those are definitely safety concerns, because safety is the #1 priority. And then you're going to look at also memory issues. You know, are they remembering to go to appointments? Are they turning off the stove? You know, that's also another safety concern. Other ones are like weight loss, because nutrition is very important with the elderly, and having enough nutritious meals and getting all their vitamins in. And then two other things would be their medications, like do they have empty, or the bottles empty, or are they are expired? And then the other part of like what to look for is if they're having any depression signs, because they need to also be in an environment where they're going to for their well-being and thrive.
Mm-hmm. So if you start seeing those kinds of things, and some of those things, like forgetting things, kind of hit us all at some point or another, what sort of steps do you start to take?
Yeah. Do you want to go on that, or?
So it just depends on the need of your aging parent or your aging relative. First, you have to find out if they need assisted living, nursing home, or home care.
Okay, let's break those down. What are the difference? What's assisted living mean?
Okay, assisted living is one of the most popular senior housing option right now. It's like if these seniors need help with day-to-day activities such as eating, bathing, household chores, and those things, but they don't have any medical needs, then assisted living is the way to go, because it's non-medical services for seniors in a home care setting. Mm. But if they have medical needs, if they have serious medical conditions, then they need nursing home, because nursing homes, they have 24 hours, 7 days a week nursing care for seniors. And then they also have a home care, which is very popular nowadays, because more and more seniors want to age in the comfort of their home. Mm-hmm. So there are two types of home care services: the in-home care and the home health care service. So if they have a medical need, then that's the home health care. Mm-hmm. If it's a non-medical need, then that's the in-home care.
And then I was going to say the most important part is to have enough time, because you don't want to be in a rush and just wait for your loved one to go into a hospital and then they're going to have to make a rush decision. Mm. You want to make sure that you have enough time, you get all the options that you need, and then also when you go and tour and observe, make sure that make sure that the home or the community is clean. Does it smell good? All those little things. How do the owners or the sales or the sales directors or even caregivers, how do they interact with the families, and how do they interact with the caregivers, and also treat the caregivers and treat the residents there? That's going to be very important. And how they take care of their staff is also how the staff takes care of their, of the residents there. So those are important factors. And then check with license. We have resources where they can check with licensing as well, making sure that there's no citations, whatnot, and those are very important factors.
Now, I know the concern for a lot of people is, obviously you want to make sure it's a good place for your loved one, but cost, unfortunately, is also a concern as well. What are we talking about in these different levels of care in terms of how much it's going to cost?
Yeah, primarily with the popular one, as Kate mentioned, with assisted living, you'd see all across, I guess on average, like $3,200 a month is usually where people are falling. It could be lower than that or it could be higher than that, but pretty much that's the sweet spot for care needed. And then there's options of getting long-term care insurance and whatnot. And
But
to
of
pay
course,
for
it
those
depends
things.
too. If they need like medical, services, then the more it's going to be expensive. If it's like non-medical service, just like assistance with day-to-day activities, then it could be cheaper.
How about in-home care? But what's the sort of range as far as someone who wants to stay in their home for a while?
Yeah, that can go about like $160 a day to $220 a day. We've seen different ranges in home care. So it just really depends on the care needs and how long the caregiver is going to be in the home and what are the exact needs. Some have them go to the grocery or have do a little errands for them. So
It depends if they need just like a regular caregiver or do they need a nurse.
So where does the money come from? Does the government provide, is there any government program that helps out with these kinds of costs?
there is like SSI, but most of the payment does come from family members or does come from out-of-pocket savings or sometimes they have long-term care insurance. So most people don't have long-term care insurance, which is a great thing to try and look at that when you're a little bit younger. But most of it comes from out-of-pocket or families trying to cover for that.
So let's talk about what you guys do. What is the service of seniorcarehomes.com?
Yeah, we actually, we have just like what you do in surf on the web and you can actually look at senior care housing directories. We have that where people can actually go to our site, do a virtual tour of the inside or outside of a community, but at the same time they can also contact us for their needs based on care needs, budget, and location. Instead of calling every single facility or community out there, they can contact one of our senior care experts to give them those options. Because sometimes families try and just make a call out there and try and call blindly, but instead they can go to our site. Instead of driving around everywhere, they can kind of narrow down their options, and then our experts can give them the best needs for them.
And what does your service cost?
We're actually
free.
free. Yeah, we're free service to the community, so which is a great thing. So.
And your funding comes from
Yeah, we're compensated by the facilities that advertise with us and everything. We've arrangements, so
Because
so
we do
could be-
our as well.
So talk a little bit about your experts. Where do they, how do they know what they know?
Yeah, well, it all comes our medical background. We've both been in healthcare, and I've been in healthcare since I was 14. My dad's a doctor, and we have an IT background, building up companies that some have gone public. So we have a deep respect for our loved ones, and we've merged the two. We took healthcare and IT, and we put that together. How we can help families find reputable and trusted information online. So all our experts have a pretty good healthcare background. So.
Very good. And again, obviously, people can contact you at?
Yeah, seniorcarehomes.com. Or
Yes. They can go to our website. They can check different, assisted living options or different senior housing facilities in the area.
Well, thanks so much for being with us and answering some of those good questions. As we continue, we're going to next talk about a nonprofit organization that is helping low-income people and seniors navigate some of the options for them. Don't go away.